Elijah Anderson. Now, I couldn't get my band here to help say this. So, since tomorrow is D-Day for Iran, which stands for Doomsday, and President Trump solemnly swear to put Iran in flames in the Stone Age. He promised if they didn't open up the fucking Strait of Hormuz, he would, quote, blow it open and blow Iran. Okay, so, of course, I wrote a song about bombing Iran in D-Day for Iran. Okay, I'll get the lyrics. But, you know what the best part is? I wrote 2 songs. Now, don't blame me if my voice isn't that good at singing, because I'm a secretary, not a war person. No, I am a war person, but I'm not a singer. I'm super nervous. Okay. I might start over this. Engines roar in the midnight air. Sirens crying everywhere. Maps and orders, lines in red, but there's no one hears. But no one hears what's left unsaid. Okay. Steel and fire burning bright. Who decides what's wrong or right? Shadows over the sky tonight. Flashing echoes, fading light. Names are written, then erased. In a war no one can face. Boots on the ground, hearts in fear. Voices we've lost, we'll never hear. Every mission, every call leaves another empire small. If the silence could speak or beg us to stop, or remind we're human, then when the bombs finally drop, shadows over the sky tonight. No more wrong, no more right. We just the cost we can't repay for our lives we threw away. That was the first song. Okay, that had a little catch to it. Okay, so that had a little catch to it. Even though I didn't sing it that well, that was more like a rap. A poem, not a poem. Just a rap. Okay. Okay, this is the second song. Well, the headlines broke at night, yeah. The world was a spin. They said the orders came down, but they never said from when. Whispers in the bathroom, shadows in the rain. Truth gets lost between power and the pain. Every channel telling stories, but they never show it straight. Every answer comes too early or a little too late. They say we moved on. They say it's all fine, but the truth stays buried between every line. Locked behind doors, sealed up tight in the Epstein files they hide from public light. The voices talk in circles, name you recognize. Every secret's covered by the 1,000 alibis. Promise of justice written bold and loud, but silence grows heavier than any crowd. Tomorrow, just another day, they rewrite what they say. Call it history, call it fate, call it the price we pay. They say remember when every erase, and the truth they couldn't face, and the world keeps turning out of sight under the headlines at midnight. Okay, that was the second song. Okay, now that was a great song. Okay, the first song was called Shadows Overnight. The second song was called Headlines at Midnight. And this maybe final song, is called Orders in the Static. I wrote that. Okay. Voices in the airways cutting through the night. Every word's a headline, every move is a fight. They say the call was made somewhere behind the scene, but truth doesn't always show what it really means. Lights flash red, papers hit the desk. Every choice they make becomes another test. Orders in the static echo through the room. Promises of power shadowed by the gloom. Every name written down in history's flame, but every victory still carries a blame. Leaders on the stage, the cameras rolling wide. Every single sentence got 1,000 ways to slide. Crowds either cheer or turn away in doubt. But while the real stories is what they don't talk about. Is it strength or is it show? Is it truth? We'll never know. Every line drawn in the sand leaves a mark across the land. Orders in the static, fading into the gray. What they choose to tell us say. What they keep away. History remembers more than what they say in the silence and every day. That was Orders in the Static. Another one. I wrote a few today because President Trump promised for D-Day. Okay, my last song's name is Breaking Point. Can you believe I actually took time out to write a song? Multiple songs? Okay, Breaking Point. Breaking news, flashing red across the screen. Everyone's talking, but they don't know what it really means. Voices from the top saying this is what to do, but the world keeps watching, trying to figure out what is true. Decisions in the moment, consequences last. Every headline, they're just moving too fast. Crowds split sides, yeah, they choose their line. They choose their lane, but nobody's escaping the weight of the name. Every word recorded, every movie played. They promise tested in the games they play. We are at a breaking point, feel it in the air. Too many questions, not enough to repair. Lines get drawn, but they never stay. Everything changes by the end of the war day. Spotlight shining in the ones in command, like me. Every choice echoing across the land. Power like a fire. Hard the truth to see. Is it justice? Is it pride? Do they just hide? When the truth is undefined, we are at a breaking point. Nothing feels the same. History is written. Who takes the blame when the noise fades out and the lights are all dim? You still hear the echoes from the edge within. That song, that was a great song. I had to make these music videos. I had to make a music video. This is my first time singing, or I feel like this was rapping. I feel like I was rapping. I was. Anyway, yeah, I was rapping there. It all rhymed. That's what I was aiming for. I wrote that in my mind. Trust me, I'm not lying. Yeah, I wrote that in my mind. Trust me, I'm not lying. See, there's no one right there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. We have a lot more coming. I'm Secretary of Advanced Radar Systems. I made the song about tomorrow is D-Day, and we're also still hiding the Epstein files. And I will see you in probably a few hours when I meet with the Prime Minister of Sweden.